Doug Jones has become the first Democrat in 25 years to win a U.S. Senate seat for Alabama after a bitter campaign against Republican Roy Moore. His unexpected victory deals a blow to President Donald Trump, who backed Mr. Moore, and narrows the Republican majority in the Senate to 51-49. With 99% of the votes counted, Mr. Moore refused to concede on Tuesday night. He fought a controversial campaign, in which allegations surfaced of sexual misconduct with teenage girls. Mr. Moore, a firebrand conservative who has said he believes that homosexual activity should be illegal, has repeatedly denied the claims against him. Many media outlets have reported the election in favor of Mr. Jones, and 99% of the votes have been counted. But Mr. Moore, 70, told his supporters it was not yet over. "We've been painted in an unfavorable and unfaithful light," he said. "Realize that when the vote is this close that it's not over." He said he believed the margin of victory could narrow as more votes poured in, which could trigger an automatic recount. Alabama Secretary of State John Merrill said a recount could be ordered if the margin is narrowed to less than half a percentage point. Although Mr. Moore did not concede, President Trump congratulated Mr. Jones in a tweet shortly after U.S. media declared him the winner, adding that Republicans will have another shot at the seat in a very short period of time. Congratulations to Doug Jones on a hard-fought victory. The write-in votes played a very big factor, but a win is a win. The people of Alabama are great, and the Republicans will have another shot at the seat in a very short period of time. It never ends. End of Twitter post by @RealDonaldTrump. Mr. Jones told his supporters in a victory speech that the entire race has been about dignity and respect. This campaign has been about the rule of law. This campaign has been about common courtesy and decency and making sure everyone in this state, regardless of which zip code you live in, is going to get a fair shake in life, he said before the crowd erupted in cheers. The 63-year-old is a former lawyer known for helping convict 2 Ku Klux Klan members who bombed a black church in 1963 in Birmingham, killing 4 girls. He has never held elected office. Mr. Jones wins the seat vacated by U.S. Attorney General Jeff Sessions earlier this year. The former judge has made headlines for a series of incendiary remarks over the years, including his belief that Muslims are not fit to serve in Congress. But it was allegations of sexual misconduct made by several women, some when they were teenagers, that dogged Mr. Moore's campaign and drew national attention to the special election. One accuser alleges Mr. Moore molested her when she was 14, while another claims he sexually assaulted her in a car while she was a teenager. The claims against Mr. Moore came amid a wave of allegations of sexual misconduct against prominent figures that has led to the resignation of 3 politicians. Anthony Zurcher, Newsbay News, Washington. Alabama will have a Democrat in the U.S. Senate. It's an outcome that seemed all but impossible a year ago and still seemed unlikely even as voters headed to the polls on Tuesday. The ramifications of this unexpected victory are clear. The Republican majority in the Senate will narrow, considerably improving the chances Democrats could gain control of the chamber in the 2018 midterm elections. It could also be seen as a rebuke of President Donald Trump, who gave full-throated support to Roy Moore even when other leaders in his party were hesitant. After winning governor races in Virginia and New Jersey in November, some Democratic supporters will be hoping that an anti-Trump electoral wave is forming. But Moore was such a flawed candidate that it may be too early to tell.